Valiant here, and today I'm going to be talking about the fact that you will make mistakes in real estate. Yes, everybody makes mistakes in real estate. I've been in this business, geez, almost 22 years. Don't hold it against me. Anyway, I make mistakes sometimes, and here's the best way to handle it. Own it. You have a relationship with your clients. They know that you care about them if you've done your job well, and you should care about them. And there are going to be times that a mistake happens. So you just call them up and you let them know, you know what, Nancy, John, I made a mistake. I want to confess this to you. Here's the solution that I have. And I'm going to do another video on don't present a problem until you have a solution. You want to make sure you have a solution in place. But call them and let them know what happened. You're human. You are a real person. They are real people. Now, of course, there are going to be times that you get a hothead. Okay, they're going to freak out on you for a minute. And you know what? You just let them vent. Just let them get it out. Then you proceed with, well, I completely understand how you feel or what your thoughts are. And you know what? Here's the solution that I came up with. Are you okay with that? And then you move forward. You're not going to be perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. You also want to let your broker know that you made a mistake. Send them an email. Just let them know, hey, I made a mistake. This is how we're fixing it. I talked to the client. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Your broker's there to have your back at all times. So make sure that they're aware of what's going on. So I had an agent recently on my team that came to me and they were like, I really messed up. So I had my client put down a $10,000 earnest money. They had not given the lender all of their documents yet. It's an older couple and they don't understand why they have to give the lender their bank statements and their tax returns and their pay stubs and everything else, because back in the day when they bought their last home 22 years ago, they didn't need to provide any of those things. So now they're refusing to give the lender these items, and we're past the deadline that they needed to have that in on their contract. And they're going to lose their $10,000 if they don't proceed. So of course I had to go in as their team leader and I had to smooth it over with the client. And the solution was that the lender and I would go over to their home and go through their documents with them and make copies of everything that we needed to make copies of. And they were totally happy with that. What really stressed them out was the fact that they had to scan it in or drive across town to go meet the lender. And they didn't tell my agent that. They just freaked out on him. So we were able to smooth it over and proceed, and they closed and they didn't lose $10,000. Now, here's the problem. The client did not understand that the $10,000 could be lost. It wasn't an expectation that was set up front. So they didn't understand the severity of their choice, and that was a really big deal. Make sure you set expectations up front so that when issues do come up down the road, there's no surprises. Anything can happen in this business. I've seen clients lose their earnest money. I've seen clients that refuse to close. Things happen. As long as you set the expectation up front, look, we're going to try to make this as smooth as possible. I'm not perfect. I am human. I do make mistakes occasionally, and I know we all hate admitting that, right? But the bottom line is if you admit it up front and then something comes up throughout the transaction and you're like, okay, so I need to own it. I didn't do something and here's the solution. We've got this. We can proceed, but this is how we need to fix it. Or, you know what? I forgot to put that in the contract. So I'm going back now and trying to negotiate that out. Whatever the case may be, just tell your client what's going on. There is nothing worse than if you get through it, they're not aware of what happened, and they find out it was your fault without you telling them. Then you're in big trouble. That's how people get sued. So avoid that at all costs. Make sure you like me on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you subscribe.